Greetings. I'm Troy Newham. I'm the author of 2084, The Search for Love, Hope, and Faith. I recommend the edited edition. And today I would like to talk to you about the Lost Treaty. The Lost Treaty is a UN resolution which will basically turn over the security of the seas to a multinational organization. Because as we know, multinational organizations do such a great job at everything they do, particularly security. There are no instances where multinational organizations have failed miserably at every single thing that they have ever tried to do. Now, what this would do is basically give up some of our national sovereignty. And a good question would be, why would we do that? To my knowledge, if you look back in history, all the most powerful countries in the world have never tried to give up their national sovereignty, but we keep trying to do this through the UN. And I don't know why. Some of the highlights of this new treaty would be that we would turn over the security of all the open waters to this multinational organization. Right now, as the world superpower, the seas are basically secure by the U.S. Navy. If someone starts running them up, we're going to show up and probably blow them out of the water, which is what we should do. But instead, we're going to let a multinational organization decide when it is or is not appropriate to blow boats out of the water. And generally speaking, by the time they decide this, the damage has already been done. Hence, pretty much the entire history of the UN. So the second thing it would do is that it would grant an area of 200 miles around each country's participating coastline. And they would have exclusive rights to any oil that is drilled in that 200 miles and exclusive use to it. This would hurt our Navy again because now China has 200 miles around their country that belongs to China. Right now it's only 12 miles. And it would prohibit us from doing spying from off the coast, and it would even hamper our commercial trade because our Navy couldn't do anything to protect our commercial vessels in that 200-mile area. Just look at Somalia and the pirates. We wouldn't be able to do that. The other thing it would do is any oil that is drilled outside of that 200 miles, which is typically done by us, half of the royalties from that oil would be taken and given to third world countries. And of course, that money is more likely to wind up in the hands of dictators and warlords than the actual poor people. We would also be forced to give up our technological advances in drilling offshore to other countries like Brazil, who maybe not have as good a record as ours, as good a technology. And finally, it would also grant the ability of this multinational organization legislative regulation on all pollution that happens in the sea. Now, what this could include is anything airborne, such as emissions from power plants. So really, this would be a way for this multinational organization to tell America how it can and will and how much energy it will be allowed to produce. If you think that China and India are going to go along with this, you're crazy. Even if they were to join up, they would still just keep polluting. They would just lie about it, and then the multinational organization would keep saying, yeah, if you keep doing that, we're going to pass some sanctions on you, and they'll never do it, because here again, this is what multinational organizations do. They never do anything to the people who are actually doing something wrong. They only do things to countries like us, which are responsible and feel obligated to go through with the treaty once we do this. It's just another example of us giving up our national sovereignty for nothing. We could accomplish every single thing that they want to do on our own. If we want our oil drills to be, less pollution, more eco-friendly, we can do that. If we want to give half of our money to other countries, I don't know why we would do that, but we could do that as well. We need them for nothing. So why are we going to go along with this? I have no logical explanation. America seems to be the only country in history that, while it is the dominant force in the world, seeks to give up its sovereignty to those who seek to replace her. I don't know why. Again, I'm Troy Newham. I'm the author of 2084, The Search for Love, Hope, and Faith. I hope you check it out. It's very good. It's about totalitarian governments and how all leftist governments end up being totalitarian just by their nature. I would also recommend my book War Journal, which is a story about revenge and the prisons that we make for ourselves. Again, check out my blog, swampfoxpress.com. I hope you enjoy it. Long live the Constitution. Signing off.